Vinyl application to various substrates is pretty straightforward, but there are some do's and don'ts that you should be aware of. The first thing you ought to do when planning a project is to separate all the colors into various layers. Import it into Vinyl Cuts, which is a free software that AM.CO provides. Hit the trace button. We're going to go and select our artwork. From there, it will show you all the colors of our image. There you can now select the colors that you want, push Update Preview, and then say OK. You can then resize your image to the size that you want to cut it. Now go ahead and push on our Cutter tool. You can then select Cut all colors separately and choose the color that you would like to cut first. And from there, just repeat the process, choose your color that you want to cut, and then cut that color next. Once you've got all your various layers sorted out, now you can cut them out into their different colored vinyls. And of course, once you've cut everything, the next step is weeding out your vinyl. Just before we start applying our design, let's just run through a few things that you shouldn't be doing when vinyl heat pressing. You shouldn't at all be taking all your colors and putting them onto one application and then applying it to the shirt. If you try to do so, when you peel off the vinyl, it will become curly and stretched and will be unusable. From there, you won't be able to tell which side is the adhesive side, and you sometimes will adhere the vinyl back to the application tape. You shouldn't be really doing this, it's just something that we do not do. You should be applying each layer once at a time and making sure that it's done properly. I first take my t-shirt and I lay it out perfectly flat to make sure there's no wrinkles. From there, you need to decide which layer you're going to heat press first. And in order to do that, you need to see which is either the biggest or has the most intricacy to heat press first. Another deciding factor to choose which layer you need to heat press first or apply first is by looking at your original image and looking at the background, and by seeing that you can choose which is going to be background all the way to your foreground in order of heat pressing and applying. Then you can pick it up and cut it out with scissors. It is a quick tip just to trim the edges so it's easier for you to see and line up your vinyl on the t-shirt itself. Now that we have trimmed and aligned our design to our t-shirt, we can then peel off all the other layers and leave the layer that we're going to apply first. Next thing we can do is setting up our heat press. From here, I'm going to be using the settings that you see on the screen for this particular job. The settings may change depending on your substrate as well as the t-shirt and environment. You will have to do tests yourself. Okay, the heat press is at temperature. Now let's apply it. You put your heat press on top of your design and make sure you keep a firm grip and pushing down with even pressure all over the design. Today the design is bigger than our heat press, so I'm going to spend some time at the top and then slowly move down, and from there I'm going to move up and down to create even heat across the entire design. Once I've done it for my allotted time, I take the heat press off and I slowly peel off the backing. Okay, this looks good. Now let's move on to the next color. Same principles apply. We apply our next layer exactly where we need it to be. And then we take the heat press and apply the same level of pressure. Right, that's done. Now we can move over to our last image, which is our foreground. Once we've heat pressed that and we've peeled away our backing, we need to do a final heat press to seal all of our design into the shirt. So, generally speaking, you can apply this technique to almost any substrate, such as car signage, wall art, and t-shirt vinyl. Oh, by the way, a quick tip, always make sure to clean your surface before applying any sort of vinyl. Have a look at this freezer for example. You can see underneath the vinyl I did not prepare the surface and clean it, and you can see that there's a bit of a mottle and striped effect underneath. Whereas if you look at this other freezer where I did prepare the vinyl, it looks much better and has a really nice smooth finish compared to the previous freezer. I really hope this inspires you, and just go for it.
At AM.CO.za, we have always taken pride in our products and customer service. Our Google rating represents our commitment to providing our clients with the best support possible. We have officially achieved a rating of 4.9 stars and an astounding 699 reviews for our Jet Park branch in Johannesburg at the end of 2020. Hlobosile Kumalo, a level 6 local guide who has 64 reviews all over the country, says, "The tech support team is on point. I had an issue with my machine, I called them and they said I must bring it in. The person who helped me checked everything and made sure everything was 100%. Kind staff members helped me load my machine in and out of my car." This was just one of the many appreciative reviews we have received. These tags mean a lot to us. Thank you so much for your support. Let's move our attention to our branch in Montague Gardens of Cape Town, where we have achieved a rating of 4.8 stars and an amazing 299 reviews. Level 7 reviewer Dash Somolu, who has 119 reviews on Google, says, "Great company, great products and very well priced items. The training we received from Messias Chunga was top notch. He was very knowledgeable and knows his stuff." Another satisfied customer amongst many. We would like to thank you, our loyal customers. Thank you, South Africa. AM.CO.za. Achievement matters.